A lot of people that view my videos are overweight, and they've asked, should I do short dry fast? How do I do it? What do I do to lose some weight? And I got to tell you, dry fasting is the best way to rapidly lose weight because it taps into your fat for energy when you get past the second day, and it's a great method to do this. So here's my advice. I would suggest a 4 to 5 day dry fast, at least a 4, because during the first couple of days of a dry fast, you're not drinking any water, and you're activating those biological hormonal systems to start turning on epinephrine to cut into your fat cells and start making the fat for fuel. So for 2 days, it's like normal. You just are using up all your glycogen. You're getting a little tired towards the end of the second day. Third day, you get your energy back because you've tapped your fat cells, and you're using the free fatty acids and glycerol and the triglycerides to be able to have plasma glucose from the glycerol and made in the liver, and free fatty acids for energy to stay alive, and water in the mitochondria in every cell, 37 trillion cells. So you got plenty of glycerol in the liver being made into plasma glucose because your brain and your blood only work on sugar. So you have to have sugar to stay alive. So that's why dry fasting is the best way to do this. But during those days after that first initial 2 days of getting through the water and sugar cycle, you're cutting into fat fast. In the third day of a dry fast, typically 5 pounds, then 2 or 3 pounds, and 1 or 2 or 3 pounds. You could lose up to 10 pounds a week on a 4 or 5 day dry fast. That's 40 pounds a month gone, and in a couple of months, 80, 4 months, 160. I mean, do the math. But the easy thing about the shorter dry fast is there's not a real problem with refeeding. You just go back to eating. You don't have to reestablish all your electrolytes. You can eat decent food and take some electrolytes, especially when you're done with a dry fast, any length. But it's really a lot easier. My partner's sister did one of these things and dropped way under 150 pounds. She'd been way over, almost close to 200 for her whole life, and finally did these cyclical short dry fasts that got the weight down. She's kept the weight off. And if you change your eating habits, if you really lay off the tons of carbs and beer and wine and all that stuff, all the sugar-laden stuff, you do 2 things. You bring back sensitivity to insulin on your cell receptors, very important, and you don't gain weight. So the idea here is eat lots of fats and lots of protein. I like red meat for this. Ribeyes, New Yorks, whatever you have, and eat the fat. Eat the fat because the fat has stearic acid. And this is something I talk about in the book. Stearic acid is one of the best free fatty acids to bring in because it has like 18 carbons as opposed to 10 or 9 on like all these seed oils and vegetable oils. So they have very poor energy production, even though they're eating tons of this stuff. It's really hard on the mitochondria. So eat the fat, meat fat, butter for the retinol. Take some copper to keep your copper-iron balance going right. And you'll really be fine. You'll be very healthy. You'll lose a lot of weight. You'll lose a lot of toxins because if you're doing this every week, you can't help but get rid of some of the toxins because you're in 4 to 5 days of autophagy. Let's say you just do a 4-day dry fast. So 2 days you're cutting sugar, 2 days you're losing fat, 3 days you're just refeeding, so you're getting ready to do it again next week. And you can do this over and over again without really hurting yourself at all. You're in autophagy, you're getting rid of toxins, you're getting rid of stuff because every time you tap the fat cells, toxins that are sequestered there get released. So the safe way to lose weight, in my opinion, is to do some short dry fasts, repetitive short dry fasts, because you get a lot of the benefits of the dry fast, but you'll also lose the weight rapidly. And you'll be really happy with yourself because you can suffer in the gym and do exercise and cardio and all this stuff that just makes you hungrier. Or you can do something your body naturally does, something we've evolved to have the ability to do. Because, years ago, it was famine more than feast, and you had to have some store of energy in you to find any animals you were going to eat and catch them. So you had to have the energies. That's where the fat comes in. Fat is your friend. Too much of it is not. So try this short dry fast. Do a 4 to 5 day cycle, and when you go back to eating, do some electrolytes. Not a bad thing to do. Tangy tangerine or just some multivitamin mix. Just go back to eating, but don't eat the carbs, don't eat the sugars, don't do the beer, all that kind of jazz, and eat the meat and the butter and animal fats for the correct free fatty acids. And you'll really be fine. You'll feel better, and you'll have better mental clarity. You'll trim up really fast. You'll be encouraged to do this because that's the biggest problem with losing weight the current way. After a point, it's just such a bear to try to exercise and exercise and exercise, and you don't really lose much weight. You become disinterested. You just can't be compliant. It's easy to be compliant if you just stop eating. It has a lot of benefits if you've seen on the many, many videos that I have on my site. Anyway, that's it for today, and I will talk to you later.
Yes?
We have a message. Can you remind people to subscribe, please, sir?
What now?
Please.
Oh, very well.